Welcome back to Because We Got High with Rhea, Kelly, and Bree. This is episode Wow. I don't know where we were going with that, but it sounded like a little It sounded spooky just because of the show U, but this is the letter U. And as always, this podcast is presented by OCB Rolling Papers, the best rolling papers ever to ever exist. You got the bamboo, the organic hemp. I like the cones because you can just stuff them away, tie them up, boom, ready to smoke. Or you can get your booklets where you can roll your own joints. Comes with the little mouthpieces as well. Do your own thing. You can also get the trays, which are so cute. Got this hot pink one, got a light blue one. So if you go to OCBUSA.com/hi, you can get yourself a deal way less. Usually it costs $20 or more. This time you're getting a steal. An absolute, you are robbing OCB and we're allowing you to do that. So
robbing them blind.
Go to OCBUSA.com/hi. Make sure you're smoking what we're smoking because there is no point to smoke anything else but OCB. How are we doing, ladies? It's the week after Thanksgiving.
Doing good.
How was your Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving was, Thanksgiving was fine. I'm not a holidays
You don't
girl.
like going home to your fam.
I don't like going on. No, it's stressful. You know why? It's too much pressure. It's too much pressure to like act fine all the time. I love to be by myself. I love to be chilling, and I don't like to have to be in a good mood for so many days in a row.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like my mood affects other people's moods, and if I'm not up and nobody else is, it's too much pressure. So I'm very tired today. I'm very tired.
Just exhausted. Drained.
Just drained.
Socially drained,
emotionally drained. I'm looking forward to when we all get home tonight. I'm gonna sleep until like a full 12 hours.
Yeah, you should get that in. How about you, Brie?
My Thanksgiving was good. I almost didn't go home because I didn't want to make the drive home. All the trains were sold out. Or they were I almost came to yours, and then my cousin at the last second was like, "Are you even my family if you don't come home?" And I'm like, "You know what? No, come get me." And she drove and she came and picked us up.
That's a real.
And then we drove
really
back.
Nice.
Yeah, it was awesome. But the drive home, I sat in traffic for 9.5 hours. Drive home.
That's insane.
Stupidest
fucking
move
disgusting.
of my life leaving on Sunday. Stupidest fucking move.
One of the busiest travel days.
Idiotic
Wednesday
move.
and Sunday of Thanksgiving.
Very idiotic, but I made it back and it was a good Thanksgiving. I'm glad I ended up going home.
Good.
How about you? Did you get too high?
No, so I actually, one of the best Thanksgivings I have had in years.
Nice.
I would say it was so much fun. We had a little family controversy, which I love when you're not a part of it. Little family drama. It was fucking
That's the best.
awesome this year.
Something scandalous,
It was my younger cousin.
crazy?
No, nothing crazy. My younger cousin, she was, I don't want to say it. I want to get whatever. But
Sure.
I just got drunk instead of high. Like I smoked a little bit, but I did not have an edible like last year. Unfortunately, Dave Portnoy did, and
I heard. Yeah, we all heard about that.
Ended up.
He clearly did not heed your
He
warnings.
did. Nobody took my warning. I said it a million
Nobody
times.
did an edible on
You were like, no
Thanksgiving.
drugs, mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes.
I saw it.
I listened to myself, even though my sister, once again, I was like, are you fucking joking? Like, you know what happened last year? She also asked me if I wanted shrooms. It's like, I am not doing drugs on Thanksgiving. We talked about
Cursed
this.
day for you to do drugs.
So I had, my mom made this really good pumpkin spice hot wine. You ever have hot wine?
Of course, mulled wine or whatever. Yeah.
It's like as hot as tea.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's fucking
It's
delicious.
like
It was
a hot
so
toddy
good.
with wine.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it was
That's
really
delicious.
good. So I had a couple glasses of that. My family was over. We sat by the fire. Good laughs all around. Really just a successful Thanksgiving, I would say.
That's
And then I
wonderful.
did absolutely nothing all week. Like I can't even, when you say nothing?
Yeah.
Like truly nothing.
You literally
that's
did
what
not.
I
Those are
went
the
home
best
My
to
times.
shower was broken on Sunday. For some reason, it wasn't working.
Ooh, dirty girl.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And my dad, I ended up showering. Don't worry.
Nice.
And my dad was like, who fucking broke the shower? And I was like, Dad, I haven't showered in days. So that was like my
Not
one
me.
excuse. And that actually made him laugh. He was screaming his head off. And then he was like, that's pretty funny. You haven't. We've seen you. You look gross. Like, please take a shower.
You're like Pigpen from the like Charlie Brown, the kid
Yes.
that runs around with like the dirt that's like floating around him at all
Just
times.
gross.
That's
Good to be
That's
dirty
you.
for a little bit.
But we're going away. We're going to California. Chicks in the office for like
just a little something.
for a week. So
what
I was like,
for? What are you heading out there for?
just like a little award
vacation?
show. We're doing a little award
An
show,
award
big interview
show.
too, which is crazy. That it's one of the biggest
Who are you
interviews.
being interviewed by? I didn't know that.
No. We are interviewing somebody.
You can't say it yet.
I can't say
Oh,
it yet.
you
I'll
are?
tell you
Tell
it.
us later. Yeah. What? That's
It's one of the biggest.
insane.
It's one of the biggest interviews ever at this company.
That's crazy.
And it's just flying under
That
the
is
radar.
so
Cut this all
exciting.
out. So I just wanted to do nothing all weekend, so I did that. So I would say it was a successful Thanksgiving. But I do know what you mean, Kelly, about like, there's something about if you're not in a great mood and having to pretend you're in a good mood all day long, like you can't sneak away to your bed and like take a nap or on holidays. It's like
and your family members are the ones that know immediately when you're like not quite right, and then they start with the what's wrong, or what's going on, or this, that, whatever, and then it makes it worse. And that's just something that my whole family is like this. Like it's not just me. None of us have been able to like get on the same page with our own moods, like ever, literally ever in our entire lives. But holidays, for me personally, it's just like they make me want to clam up. Like I used to like them a lot. Now I'm just like I want to stay home. Like it's too much pressure. I don't like it. But Brie, I was thinking about you when you said you were traveling yesterday. My good friend went home to Maryland for Thanksgiving, and she usually takes the train. And she flew back to New York because the Amtrak tickets were $440.
What? Yeah.
One way from like Maryland
to Boston.
New York.
They were
and so I can't imagine what they were to Boston.
I was like, I'll just drive.
That's fucking insane. Yeah, she literally flew. She's like the plane ticket was less, and I thought that was insane. So I'm
disgusting.
Lucky enough to not have to travel too far. So that was not bad. True. I got a ride back and forth with my bestie who lives in Hoboken.
There you go. It worked out for you.
All good there.
I would say, excuse my pun, but an upgrade from last year's Thanksgiving.
Whoa.
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
We're talking
Definitely
about upgrades.
An upgrade. Definitely
also
an upgrade.
Wish we could play music and podcasts, even though we can't anymore because we'd play Upgrade You by Beyonce. So just imagine that we're playing that right now.
We're dancing to that right
That's
now.
in our head. That's in our
What's
head.
the first thing that comes to your guys' mind when you think Upgrade?
Well, when we were putting this together, what'd you say?
Phone plan.
Phone
I got my upgrade. That is definitely
Yeah.
not what I was thinking, but yes.
Yeah.
It's funny that you say that because that's literally how. So I was looking up upgrades in general. Like, how did this come about? Like, I can't imagine this word has like existed that long. Apparently, it started being used in advertisements in like 1955 for like appliances and stuff. So like targeted to housewives and things. They would get like a blender or whatever, and they'd read it in their paper being like, oh, get an upgrade for this. And so it became used like just in regular language all the time. And I feel like it's made everyone unsatisfied with what they have already and constantly feeling like they need to
there's always an
quote unquote upgrade.
Yes.
There's always something better, and I feel like it adds to like the pressure of
almost
upgrading.
Every aspect of life.
Yeah,
like
I have it. Software, phones, computers, TVs,
people,
cars.
When they're like the smallest upgrades for the most money, like the new iPhone. There's like another camera.
Upgrade. And
right,
you know what's weird
People
though?
forget about the prices. They're like, oh, what is it even the price? It's like the fact that you get something new and you have something that is better than what you have. It's like, I must have it. And it's crazy how people go nuts about it.
Like thinking about how they started using this in the 1950s makes sense because that's when I guess technology started really evolving
the beginning
and like
of consumer tech.
And
that's
quote
what
unquote
saying.
Upgrading. But who came up with the word? This is what always.
That's what I was trying to figure it out.
Always puts my mind in a tizzy is who came up with the word? Why did upgrade become upgrade?
One person was like
the word itself was used to describe like uphill, like going up, like upgrading in, or like going uphill, going upgrade. Like it was when I was looking it up, that's what it was saying. It was like, which doesn't really make sense to me now, knowing like what we use it for. But I guess they just took that word from that like terrain and turned it into this like tech thing, and so now it's just become people use it everywhere in their lives. Beyonce uses it.
I feel like there's
does.
almost comes a point though, like you said, now everyone's looking to upgrade things. Like when can we just stop?
I know.
Like I feel like we have enough technology now. Like with our obviously other things, but like your iPhone, what do we need to change about the iPhone? Because I think it works perfectly.
Do you know that I think finally iPhones are going to start plateauing a little bit. Like I feel
hope
like
so.
iPhones have been
They're
up
just
forever.
Start changing shapes.
What the fuck else? Right, they're going to start changing shapes, but also what the fuck else do we need on our phone? Like I'm at the point where on my phone, all I really want is like the camera. I want my apps for Instagram and Twitter and texting. That's all I really care about. I don't need. There's so much shit that you can do on your iPhone that I don't even look at. Like all the do you guys ever go into like the tasks list, like reminders and shit? Like I know everybody. Not everybody. A lot of people do use this, but I've never looked at it once. Like I don't give a fuck. Like all these ones, like all these weird apps, I wish I could just delete off my phone entirely that I never use. But some people do use them. But I can't imagine any of them being like a selling point
before social
anymore.
media was a thing. It's like, I can do all these things on my phone, but now all you want to do is check your app.
Because you were bored, so you would try to figure out other things. Do you realize that when they release a new iPhone, your phone starts acting up? So
of course.
when they released the 13 a couple weeks ago, my phone started doing this weird thing where text messages would say they're sending and then they would disappear from my phone.
Mine's doing that right now.
And I would have to restart. It's the freakiest thing.
And my phone just shut off.
And then I would restart my phone and then it would pop up slowly as the day goes on, and then I don't know if the text that I sent to somebody came through, and I'm like, did you get this text? And they're like, yeah, I did, but it's not
but it's gone.
They answer, but then it disappears. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? And it was the same week that they announced the 13. Well, and now it stopped because a couple weeks went by and they're like, all right, she's not falling for it.
Now they're trying to get me.
Do you know that that Apple has had a response to this? Because so many people have said when you have to like upgrade your phone, just the regular upgrade on your phone, not literally get a new phone, it will make the improvements that it says it's going to make, but it doesn't update the rest of your phone in time. So in fact, it like makes it worse. Like it's like some things are working great.
That's why I never
other
click
things don't.
update.
Right.
Never.
And the reason for that is because they want you to like get the new phones. And so people were like attacking Apple about it, being like, what's your deal? What the fuck, blah, blah. And they're like, well, of course, like new technology is advancing. And unfortunately, like we can't keep updating this old technology. Like the phones that are already existing can't hold it all. So we need to like get new phones and get new devices and whatever. It's all just like a marketing thing.
Yeah,
like, the upgrades make your phone worse.
And
like,
you can't even blame them though, because if you were working at Apple or anywhere else, you would be like, we need to figure out a way for these people to get a new phone, and that's 100%. What you would do. So you can't even blame them, but you're like on the other side of it, you're like, that's fucked. They're doing this to us.
It's so fucked up, but right.
Then we get new phone. Like this weekend, I was like, I gotta get a new phone.
You said it 20 minutes ago.
I was like, I gotta get a new phone.
It's like it's just it's crazy how they have the hold of us like that, and I feel like iPhone probably is the one that everybody thinks of, like upgrades, especially just phones in general. I was thinking about like upgrades that had happened to us earlier in our lives, like kind of before that. What about like dial-up internet to cable, like DSL
or Microsoft? Like think about how Microsoft was the go-to.
Windows 94, 95, 96. Like there was always new shit. Windows 2000. Yeah. Nobody.
But
you
because
can't.
Apple took over.
And
then it became Safari and like...
Some people are still really loyal to Microsoft, though. People go like it's very much like you would think. I always think.
You ever watched a documentary?
Which one?
About Microsoft and Apple. I think it was one of those. I'm forgetting, and I'm blanking on this. I wish I knew the name. I think it might be one of those. Remember they did like the 70s, 80s, 90s.
Oh yeah,
like yeah. I think in one of those, they do a deep dive into like Microsoft and Apple and like the competition. It was very interesting. Or it was a separate documentary, I forget. Very good though.
They've always been kind of neck and neck. I think that as of now, like Apple has pulled ahead, but not as significantly as you would think. Like I always thought too, I'm like, oh, Apple, fucking of course. Like who even has like a PC
Bill
anymore?
Gates is Microsoft, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But people, there are people who work on digital like. I'm trying to think of the right word.
I feel like super
do
smart
digital
people
projects.
use Microsoft.
Yes, like like math people or like
Silicon Valley.
Yeah, all those people use PCs. Like
Microsoft.
they don't like to use Apple. People use Apple products mostly for like creative stuff. Like if you want Adobe Photoshop and like all like everybody here. Probably the producers mostly do use Apple. Yeah. And I feel like if you like all the like accounting people probably use Microsoft. Like,
do you remember the first time you saw a Mac?
Yes, because it was like we had.
It's just like it's weird.
In our computer room. And at one point in our computer room, it was a full room in like 4th grade. It was a room full of PCs, and then we came in one day and it was a room full of Macs, and it was like the first day, and they were the only Macs in the school. Like that was where, so like after school you could like reserve one to do proper work for like art class or whatever if you needed to, or if you were taking like a special class. But we would go in there and they were like the noise in the room with all of them on at the same time, like you could just hear the whirring, and it was like hot in the room because the computers were hot. It was so weird. It's like a memory I forgot about.
It is weird. Makes
me feel old as fuck. Like that's so
I remember weird. Like we never had Macs in my house, but my best friend growing up who lived 4 houses down, she had 2 Macs in her basement and then a touchscreen computer. Like her dad was like super into computer and her brother was too.
Yeah.
So we would just go over to her house and just play on the computer for hours because
fun.
I was so shocked by this Mac, and like my parents just we just had Dells. So
same.
The photo booth was sick.
Yeah,
photo booth was
I remember when my sister got
thing.
a Mac for college. That was like the first time somebody. It was like a big moment.
Yeah,
Someone in my family was getting
Mine
a Mac.
My the Mac for college. That was our
that
first
was
Mac
thing,
in the house.
Like getting your Mac,
for
college.
I got
was
mine
fucking nuts.
My 10th birthday. No, I got my first. We got like a desktop. It was like when they first came out, the first desktop, and we put it in my room. I think I was in 1st grade, and my mom was like, "Do you want a computer?" I'm like, "Yeah," and we put it in my room. My friends would come over, like same situation with you, just use me for my computer.
Yeah,
of
course. We would play on it for fucking 6 hours. My parents,
you guys became close
because of your computer.
Because of my computer.
I think that we became best friends because of our computers.
Yeah.
Like I was like, your computers are sick, and I want to hang out with you.
Together.
Did I ever tell the story about me getting my sister's MacBook hacked?
No.
Did I not tell this?
No. How did you hack by who?
It's honestly, this was more recent than I'd like to admit it. It was in 2015 when the Entourage movie came out. Mm-hmm. I wanted to watch the Entourage movie online, and you know they would have those websites,
like
movie 99, something stupid like whatever.
Yeah.
And I used LimeWire, but like past that. It was like those
movies.com, movie99.net, whatever the fuck.
So I did not have a Mac. My sister had one, and she wasn't home, and I was on it, and I was looking up how to watch the Entourage movie online illegally. Found a website, and then a thing popped up that she had a virus. Mm-hmm. But I didn't have a Mac, so I didn't know that it was fake. I thought it was a real pop-up that she had a virus. And it was like, you have to do all these things. So I click it. Obviously, it's taking over the computer. And then it's like, you need to call this number. So I'm freaking out because I'm like, I just fucked up my sister's laptop. I called the number. The guy, I'm on the phone with the guy, and he's telling me what to do on the computer to let him in. I let him in. He opens up photo booth and starts taking pictures of me. He opened up the photo booth to look at me because he was able to see the screen. Right. I was like, and I just fucking shut the laptop and like hung up the phone, ran downstairs, told my dad, and my dad was like, he wanted to flip out on me so bad, but he also felt bad that like somebody had like
of course.
Like a guy just opened a photo booth and I was just It was one of the
creepiest.
Like
creeping on you, obviously.
Yeah, no, obviously, like one of the creepiest things I've ever felt in my entire life was this man had a screen looking at me like taking pictures on photo booth, and just shut the laptop, gave it to my dad. We have a cousin in our family who's like really good at computers, and he fixed it, but they got like my sister's credit card info because that was like in the laptop. Completely fucked her. But also one of the scariest moments of my life, seeing you see the 3, 2, 1 go off on the photo booth, and I was like, oh no, and I just fucking slammed it.
Yo, that's insane.
And I was on the phone with him, which was even the creepier part about it. It was like he could see me on the phone with him.
I hate
very
that.
weird.
I hate that so much. So scary. That's the shit though. Like if ever there's something at my job before this, I had to be on. I had a big Mac desktop, and a lot of the times there was issues with it, but we had like a special number to call the people that did the tech for our company. So I didn't like talk to Apple. They were just like computer experts. Same thing where you'd have to tell them like, they're like, oh, a code will pop up on your computer, like read it out to me and blah, blah, blah. And they would come in to share the screen and like fix it for you. And I never felt comfortable doing it because I was like, I just know that one of these times it's going to be somebody like hacking this shit. And so it's so easy for that to happen. Like, I don't think that, I understand your dad being mad for like a second, but that's literally how they do it. That's like how they fix computers at Apple.
No, and when you don't have it, it's like,
that's so
how was I supposed to know?
Fucking know? Yeah, it
right.
sounds legit.
How do you know?
Looks legit. My dad always made me put tape over my camera, and I was like, Dad, nothing. That's so stupid. But now I'm like, yeah.
I did that for a while.
Yeah,
I did that all through like my working years. Like whenever I had desktops, I always put, because I had our like finance guy at my one job had it on his computer, and I was like, all right, if anybody knows anything about predators on the internet, it's the finance guy. Like he's legit. He knows computers and he knows what the fuck is up. So I like trusted him and I did it. But now I'm like, whatever, man. If you're gonna come into my computer, like, just look at me, whatever.
Like,
they're not
honestly,
getting much.
I'm already
staring
here.
At
like I'm always looking hideous. Like
I'm not naked watching fucking video.
Exactly.
So this is something
never open when I'm naked either.
Yeah.
The airports now. Obviously, we could talk about that, upgrading the airports in general. It's changed dramatically. But Clear, they Clear now?
Yeah, of course.
So,
which I want to sign up. You signed up for it, right?
I signed up for it.
How is it?
It's great. I
sometimes the lines are longer for Clear, though.
No.
Is it?
Every time I go, they are.
Are you sure you got? No, I think you're doing even more speed instead of Clear.
No, Clear.
You're doing Clear?
No, I don't have Clear because I was going to get it, but the line is always longer than the TSA in LaGuardia.
I have never
in LaGuardia because there's never.
I've been to LaGuardia a bunch of times in the past few weeks.
Actually, yeah, me and Devin saw that. People are waiting in the Clear line, and we just walked by them in the regular line.
Really?
I have the last few weeks. How many times have we flown out of LaGuardia? I have
never noticed.
I literally skipped the entire line. They just walk you right up. You skip the line.
I was gonna get it, and I'm like,
sure you're looking at the right line.
Definitely, I think TSA pre is better.
Yeah,
I want to get TSA obviously
pre.
TSA pre,
but that's such a hassle to get TSA pre.
I have not waited on a single, knock on wood, with Clear.
No, I think
that's
right
crazy.
So many people are getting Clear because it's so sick.
Explain
and then there's
so what it even is.
So
I don't
when you
really
sign
know.
up for it, they scan your fingerprints, your eyes, and as I was signing up for it, I was like, fuck, I'm literally giving my identity away right now.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, Fran brought up a good point.
Your
phone has your fingerprints. When we all did that, Apple has everything. They have your face.
I pull my phone up, my face
the amount of time they have it.
It literally unlocked when I just pulled my face up.
Exactly. So it's like whatever. But you walk up, it's so simple. You don't even take your ID out, which is my favorite part about Clear, because I hate when you have to take your ID out and then put it away.
And if you forget it.
As you're getting in security, it's a whole thing.
Right, you don't want to lose it like in the tubs.
In the bins.
Yeah.
So you just scan your eyes, and then they literally, a person walks you up, and you skip the whole line, and you just go right in.
Damn.
And it's only like $100 a year.
Yeah, really?
Something
that's
like
cheap
that.
as shit.
Yeah.
Huh. I don't know. I always am wanting to
If you fly a lot, it's worth it. If you don't want to go through the process of, for TSA pre, you got to show up for an interview.
You always like a
3-hour fucking interview, hardcore.
No,
it's all kinds of crazy shit. I always hear mixed reviews about TSA. Some people tell me it's like the easiest thing to do. You just go there and get it. Other people tell me that it takes hours and it's ridiculous. I just have no patience to like set it up or whatever. But I am one of those people who I'm like, oh, I never travel. I barely ever travel, whatever. And then a year goes by. I'm like, I've traveled like 12 times this year. Like, what am I doing?
You definitely travel a lot.
Yeah, because all my friends live all over the place. So I'm like always running around. But that feels like something I need to get. Do you like to, speaking of flights, airports, do you guys like to upgrade your flights and upgrade your seats?
Every time.
That's so nice.
I upgrade to Delta Comfort whenever I can. If it's an option, I'm doing it.
Comfort's
like
open,
more
I'll
space,
always try
right?
Comfort, you have more space. But here's the thing. When you're going cross country,
Comfort,
it's like almost first class. Like you get the things for your feet that push out, and so you can put your feet up.
That's nice.
And it's only like $30 more or whatever. Delta, yes.
Okay,
I never expose Fran for what she did.
Should we expose Fran for what she did?
I heard this story from Fran's perspective. I'm interested to hear from your perspective.
There's from me and Noah's perspective is we all booked a flight for 10:30 a.m. Wednesday morning. Fran texts us out of nowhere. And like,
Fran said yes.
And Fran said yes to the flight. Like she was
like,
all
there
in.
are no Comfort left. Like we just have to deal with it.
We're just doing it, whatever. Fran just upgraded her flight.
Like an hour after we booked it.
Yeah.
Like,
and then texted us like, hey guys, I'm upgrading this flight. Like she already did it. Like she was like, I upgraded it. And we were like, what? Like you did it already
without us.
And then Noah went to go check, and there wasn't enough seats left for me, Devin, Natalie, and Noah to all do it. So we were like, okay, so now the four of us are going on one flight, and she was going on another flight with Kelly Martin, fucking bougie ass bitches taking Delta Comfort, which I would have liked, but now I'm sitting in economy with my friends because I don't leave the team behind.
Nice. Right.
The team.
What is that? That was basically it from her perspective.
Yeah, was like, there's only one perspective, and it's that.
There wasn't much difference. From her perspective, it was very much like I almost didn't. I'm thinking she didn't realize you guys had already booked it. Like I think her window of time.
No, she absolutely
knew.
No, she
didn't say that. She didn't say that. She said that you guys had booked it and she just upgraded.
I think her only rationalization.
She upgraded to a different flight.
Right.
Maybe we could do
it.
That's not an upgrade. Upgrading is like we booked the flight and then we upgraded our seats in that flight. She just changed her flight entirely later in the day, so she doesn't have to wake up.
I'm gonna have to pick her up from the airport like later in the day.
Let them Uber.
Let
them Uber. We got shit to do.
No, they'll have Uber.
The four of us were getting the house set up and everything. We'll probably go grocery shopping for them.
She's gonna get the worst room now.
Yeah, she will.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
We already knew that me and Devin were getting the king, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, no, that was
really funny.
Devin hates that I said that.
Of course.
She thinks that people are actually gonna think we're lesbians.
I think that
why not? Let's keep
you guys are
Why can't we just be best friends?
That's the thing. No, you're in one of those friendships. You're in a codependent relationship. Is what you're in. You're in a codependent
a domestic relationship
where you need to sleep together. Like you literally can't be apart. Like that's what you're. That's the relationship you're in.
I
it's
slept
not
without
you just
Devin.
Are codependent.
Last time I slept with Devin's was Tuesday last week. I'm already back there tonight.
Yeah, like it's codependent. Like, that's what it is. Like you're besties who must sleep with each other. Like that's
fine. My dad this weekend, because we were talking about. Now we're talking a lot about this trip, but we were talking about the house, and there's only 4 bedrooms, but there's 5 of us. And the other houses we were getting, like, there would be 5 beds, but one bed is like a sofa bed or like a futon. So it's kind of like not even worth it. So Noah was like, if we get this one house, you and Devin will share a bed because you guys always share beds. Like, it's obviously you guys are going to share a bed.
You would have anyway.
So I called Devin up, and my dad was in the room, and I was on FaceTime with Devin. I was like, explain the situation to her. I was like, it's a king bed. Like, we'll share it, whatever. And we got off the phone, and my dad was like, what, now you're going away and sharing beds? And he opened up the closet door in my house and goes, you want to just come out? I was like, come on, Dad.
He's ready for it. He's ready.
I was like,
he's ready whenever.
Openly tell you guys, if I was a lesbian, I am not.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know why nobody has said it's just a codependent relationship. Like, that's just your answer.
No, you know what's
like,
going to shatter one of your guys' heart? When one of you guys gets a boyfriend first.
We talked about this.
It's
not going to happen.
It's
going to be
no,
it's not going to happen.
No, it's not going to happen.
That is going to be
We're
tough.
going to stay
really
single
bad.
till 30.
Okay.
That is going to be tough. Honestly, do that. Do it. Don't bother.
Yeah.
Don't bother with the in-between.
I'm going to feel so bad when one of you guys gets a boyfriend.
It's going to be tough.
Stop.
It'll be an adjustment.
No, we talked about this. We said if one of us gets a boyfriend, we're not going to stop hanging out.
It'll be an adjustment.
We're having like a serious relationship.
It'll be an adjustment.
Right
You know what will happen? It'll be one of you will get
Devin
a boyfriend.
has no mic. She's just like
One of you will get a serious boyfriend, and the boyfriend's gonna have a problem with it, and then you're gonna break up with the boyfriend for having a problem with like you. Like
No,
it's gonna be Devin, and then Rhea's gonna come over and be like, "Let me sleep in the bed with you guys," and then the boyfriend's gonna be like, "Devin, it's gone on too far," and you're gonna be like, "Well, we need to break up now because Rhea's my girlfriend."
Because I'm becoming like I do this with my sister and her husband too. Like I'm like, like aunt that lives in the basement vibes.
yeah.
That's like where I'm heading.
You're drifting.
I'm drifting that way.
Your
But
raft
I
is
feel
floating
like
that way.
I feel like if Devin and I got a boyfriend that didn't support us,
Devin and I got a boyfriend.
we should just get one boyfriend to share.
You should. That would be a throuple. Do a throuple.
I don't know.
do it.
I get jealous.
Yeah,
I would be really upset if Devin was paying attention to him and not me.
You just have to find like a set of twins. Like find some twins. Find some brothers.
That would be
Find
so
some
fun.
Brothers would be cool.
Devin, you could speak here.
Can I go on Noah's? Yeah. To be fair, I had a boy for like a long bit of time.
Yeah, she did.
But he was fine. It
Oh,
didn't matter.
and can I say this? While Devin had this boy, she gave me her spare key that I could just go back and sleep at her house alone.
Yeah,
so I
there
would
you
go
go.
sleep in her apartment alone, and then she would come back, and it would be great.
Yeah, it didn't.
There you go.
It was fine.
Yeah,
You're already-
you're already
we
working
can
out the
work it out.
kinks.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I feel like we've already discussed, ironed it out.
already have your plan.
But also, not even. The other thing is like, I haven't been in a relationship in a while, and I don't think Rhea's been in a relationship.
Okay.
Yeah, hasn't been that long. Yeah.
But we both talked
It's only
about
been
it.
like 6 months.
We both talked about it, and we were like, I neglect friendships in relationships.
Yeah,
so like
I'm the same,
that
yeah.
was more of the talk. It was more like,
Yeah.
do not let me stop hanging out with you guys, or like hanging out with like my girlfriends. You guys had this talk before.
Yeah.
That was.
Yo,
more-
that's the conversation we had because I was like,
that's a serious combo. You
you got to make sure
aware of, yeah.
we have that. We have
all
that
your
solid
friends.
base stuff.
Yeah.
I'm glad we could.
As
I'm
long
glad
as
we could discuss this.
As
right
long as
now.
you've got the base. All right, so then I'm actually going to change my question. I was going to ask a question. If you are with a significant other and one of you can upgrade to first class, but the other one can't, do you take the upgrade? But instead of significant other, I'm going to say if it's you and Devin, you have the upgrade. Are you upgrading? Leaving Devin and coach while you're in first class?
We've done that.
You've left her in the dust?
No. Remember one time we got comfort and you guys, me and Fran both got comfort and we left all of you back?
And then I did it to you.
Oh,
No,
and then
not
she did
even
it to
comfort,
me.
Not
yeah.
even comfort, like straight up first
Oh,
class.
straight
like
up
mint,
first class?
like JetBlue Mint or something like that. Like a real difference. Like it's a cross country flight. The difference is
And I get offered
economy, and you get to go to like
I always
mint.
say that
Yes,
it's like
why
Yes,
wouldn't
I
you?
100%.
I think always
the
yes.
content. They have their own Uber, and then the behind the scenes people. We just
Don't
chill in
act
the
like
No, it is
Rhea.
acting like
Don't
that.
act like Rhea doesn't come along with you guys.
yeah sometimes.
Sometimes.
I literally didn't change my
Sometimes.
flight to stay with you guys.
respect
I'm getting
that. I
on an
respect that.
earlier flight now. You asked me what I was doing, I said I'm sticking with you guys.
Damn, that's strong.
Sticking with you.
You're
That's
so
a
strong
That's
for
a
flying
bond.
fucking economy.
That's a bond. Are you
Anyways.
sure it's not because you want all of Noah's snacks? Noah, I saw that video of
Oh,
you with
yeah.
all those fucking snacks. That's
Oh,
weird shit.
I love long flights. Like I'm so excited for this flight.
I like a long flight also.
I'm
but
just gonna
the-
order like so many bottles.
Even
of
in
red
economy,
wine.
you're excited.
Yeah, I don't care. I mean, there's not that much. Like I don't
Economy's
really notice
whatever,
the
yeah.
difference.
No,
like,
no.
it's
I
just
always
Going
like
to
an economy. I'm
LA,
so broke.
I
like
can't sit up straight
going
for
to
that
LA,
long.
Delta Comfort is different.
I was excited for comfort. I'm not gonna lie. So. It's
Yeah.
kind of a-
That's okay, guys.
but-
Yeah.
It's about the morale.
Yeah.
It's about the morale. The morale will stay high.
It builds character.
Sure does.
I think that the universal rule should be that you can always upgrade your seat on an airplane if you have the option.
Yes.
Like whoever,
Yes.
I don't give a fuck. Like if I'm married, I'm like, sorry,
I'm
you don't have an
upgrading.
upgrade. Like that's
Yeah.
sorry, I'm better.
Why
like,
should
what
we
do you
both
want?
suffer when one?
Yeah,
can do
no,
better?
exactly,
Yeah.
right.
And
Like, I
if
don't
your
wanna-
significant other's not happy for you,
Right.
That's not a supportive
Forget
relationship.
it. Forget it. Cut them loose.
Yeah.
Cut them loose. You
Upgrade
can't.
to a new man.
You can't have
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, speaking of people.
Speaking of upgrades to new people.
All right, so we're talking about upgrading like every aspect of life, but I feel like we never talk about that you need to upgrade yourself sometimes. Sometimes you need
do.
to upgrade your mind, and you could do that with BetterHelp. So BetterHelp is an online, it's virtual personalized therapy for you. You can go on, you can open up your laptop. You don't even need to turn your camera on if you don't want to. Everyone needs to upgrade their mind a little. If you talk about what you're going through, It makes all aspects of your life better. So with BetterHelp, you can open up your camera. You don't have to go in person. You can live chat, and they get back to you within 48 hours, which is really cool. So if you're going through anything or you just need someone to talk to, you can do it with BetterHelp. And our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/hi. That's BetterHelp.com/hi. Upgrade your brains.
I feel like, here's the thing. Some people can be upgrades in some eyes, and some people can be downgrades in some eyes. It just depends on what side you're on. If you're supporting that person, yeah, you upgraded.
Right.
But if you're on the opposite end, you're like, this is a downgrade.
Yeah, like what if you... That's exactly right. Like say you walk in with like a new boyfriend who's a real dickhead or something.
Yeah.
We're not going to say he's an upgrade, but you probably think it. Like you're like, ooh, like this is my new man.
Right,
like,
right. But just because he's new and shiny.
Just because he's new and shiny and whatever. Like, ooh, this is my new man. Meanwhile, the rest of us are like, can't wait for this one to weed himself out.
Your your ex's new girlfriend's an upgrade, but he's probably like, this is an upgrade.
If I brought in a new boyfriend, would you guys be honest with me on how you felt about him, or are you guys just like,
yes, I think I would be.
Yeah, already
to a certain extent. I would be honest in a polite way. I wouldn't be like, that guy sucks, get rid of him, because it's rude. But I would say like, well, what do you like about him?
What do you like?
Yeah, what do you like about him? What's so great about him? Because you know what? Because I have friends. I have friends.
Like, oh, maybe you're blinded, but I see this.
I have friends who are married.
Okay.
Right. I have friends who are married or who are dating other people who I fucking hate, and I will never admit to who that is.
But why not?
But
I guess it's hard.
Sometimes marriage is different.
Marriage is so different. Well, that's a specific situation I'm talking about. Is like a marriage situation where I am just I do not fuck with him, and you know, do not fuck with him at all. But I do know that my friend like feels loved and feels secure and like loves him, and it's like a good relationship for her and whatever. But like I would die before I would like want to be in that same relationship. So it's the only reason. I mean, what do you say? You can't say anything.
I don't like him.
You can't be the one
that
says shit. Right? You can't be the one that says it either. And that's something that's been really hard, like growing up and not being able to like talk shit to my friends about the guys they're dating because they're like gonna fucking marry them. Like when you get to a certain age, you can't like talk as much shit as you could have in high school. Like, oh, your boyfriend sucks, or like, oh, he's an asshole, or oh, whatever. Especially when your friends get in fights with their like very serious boyfriends, you have to like watch what you say, because if you are immediately on the offensive, like your friend might remember that when you're getting engaged and your fake ass is like posting like, congrats to my 2 favorite couple, like whatever, blah blah blah, when 6 weeks ago you were talking major shit.
Isn't it weird that somebody can be so in love with somebody and you just are like, why?
You're like,
how? You're like literally how? Like, it almost makes me want to, like, this specific situation, I almost want to like list out the actual facts of why this person blows dick and be like, look at this and tell me how you're still married. Like, tell me how. In what world? Like, it's fucking crazy. And I'll never understand, because it's not me. It's not my relationship. It's not my life. So I don't get it.
What would it take for you guys to get a divorce? Because like divorce is hard. Like people really struggle with divorce.
Yeah.
What would make you get a divorce?
If you wake up every day and you're like, ugh, gross.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, like,
that's when you're like, we need to fucking end this. If you're just like, oh, I don't even want to touch you.
Right. I think at the point that I'm like
cheating,
physically repulsed, cheating. But even cheating, I could probably like,
take cheating out of it, because like that's the obvious, like, you cheated on me, let's get a divorce, or maybe we'll say it, like, we'll figure nobody
it out,
did anything wrong. Yeah. You just don't want to be in the relationship.
If you don't want to have sex, it's
right.
like,
if I'm physically repulsed, like to a certain point, like if I wake up, like you said, like wake up every morning and like maybe you try to have sex with me and I'm just like, literally my skin is crawling, and I make excuses.
I have my period, even though I don't.
Right, and I'm making like what's the amount of time that excuses fly before you think like maybe a divorce? Probably like a year. I'd probably stick it out for a year.
I just remembered that I forgot to pack my birth control.
Damn it.
As I was sitting here now.
Damn it.
You guys mentioned sex.
That sucks.
That's unfortunate.
That sucks so bad. Your period's going to come real quick. It's going to show up.
Anyways, that's besides the point.
When you don't take your birth control?
No, this is like mid-pack. Like, I should probably get it. Anyways, this is besides the point. That just hit me.
You got to make a checklist every time you pack.
I know.
True.
Fuck. Maybe I did pack it and I don't. Anyways.
You'll check it.
Okay, sorry.
You'll check it later.
Yeah, I'll check it later. What was I going to ask?
Divorce.
Sorry.
We're talking about divorce. It takes up to a year. You think about it for 3 years, and then it takes a year to actually act on it.
Is that like a statistic?
Isn't it really sad that some people just stay in marriages for years and years, and like they just end up drying up so much they never have sex for years?
No, it's
like people legit just go.
I want to understand
the rest of their lives without having sex.
Yeah. I mean, I told you guys a couple weeks ago it had been like a week and a half since I had sex, and I was like, damn, it's a real problem. Like I feel bad, like whatever. And now I'm like, oh, the people that have been married for 30 years, like how often do they have sex? Like special occasions. I hate that too when I hear those stories. Like, oh, it's my birthday. It's like our one time we have sex of the year. I'm like, that's fucking miserable.
That's so
like,
sad.
At what point am I gonna not want to have sex for a year? Like, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
I don't want that to happen. I don't think that'll happen to me either. Like, I can't imagine that happening to me.
I couldn't go in a relationship. I couldn't go a certain amount of time without having sex without being like,
no,
this is kind of weird. We haven't had sex. We're just friends. Like, what's happening here?
Right, like bringing it up, and maybe something's wrong. Maybe you need to like go on a like spice it up, do something different. Like I don't know. I feel like it's such an important part that I feel like a lot of people just kind of like when they get engaged, when they get married, they're like, oh yes, like finally I got it. Like we're all good. Like I don't have to worry anymore. And then you just kind of fall into this pattern of like
and then it's like you have sex once a month.
I'm asking my aunt to call my birth control into this pharmacy next door.
Very smart. Very smart. Yeah, I don't know. I think that, you know what something that I was looking up when I was looking up upgrades, there was a article that came up that was like 12 different ways to upgrade your home. And it was all these different like tips for, you know, like painting the walls new colors, like fixing your kitchen, like doing whatever. I feel like when you're married like that and you're married for like, you know, decades, home renovations become like a you can always tell when shit's going down when there's like a home renovation. Like you get like an addition on the house.
Something.
Yeah. Like you put a porch on the house, you put like a new room on the back of the house, it like shakes it up and all of a sudden it's like a crazy time and then you feel like everybody like changes the vibe of the house. I feel like when I was growing up that was always kind of the case. Like nobody wants to sit still. Yeah. My mom has changed our house, like the colors of the walls, the decorations all around, the furniture. Like I don't maybe 5 times since I was a kid, like just fully changed the house. Like my room is completely different. I changed my own room maybe 5 times.
Oh, I changed my room so much.
I was always painting in new colors. If you were to like scrape through, you know, those. It'd
be like a rainbow.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, those things where you used to use them to score like clay when you were in like art class, like those things where you can like whatever. One of those, I think it would literally be like 6 colors.
That's crazy.
Deep,
Mine's like a shit color brown. I wanted to like grow up and upgrade and like did like a brown beige.
Mine's all gray. Mine's all gray
so
right now.
Bad.
Yeah.
Mine's gray too, and honestly, dark.
It's just dark.
It's too dark.
It's dark.
Like a bright blue. It's like ocean.
I had purple and butterflies, and I was like, let's paint this shit gray.
I had purple too.
Let's mature.
That I shoved it. My purple room had it was entirely like lilac stuff, like it was like flowers and purple, like lavender walls. And then I had a Pepto-Bismol pink room, and then I had white, and then I had a salmon pink room was when we first moved in, then regular white again, and now it's gray. It's just a lot of colors.
Yeah, I need to change mine. When I go home,
Always
I feel
change
like I'm in a cage.
Yeah. My pink room is probably my favorite. I had the Victoria's Secret bedspread that year too. The, like pink, pink.
That's fun.
That's
a good one.
It was a loud fucking room.
Maybe you need that now, so like, when you go home for the holidays, you're not.
Yeah, maybe
like,
I
super
do.
depressed.
Maybe that's what I need to do.
Because
when my parents redid my room, because right now my room is like, they call it the Kelly Lounge. It's like it's literally the same color as this, and I have like a gray futon, and there's like, you know, glass and mirrored things, and it is cute, but it's like, it's pretty generic. Like it's pretty depressing. Maybe I need like
spice it
maybe
up.
I need some spice.
You
need an upgrade.
Maybe that could be it. I don't know. What do you guys think about upgrading your friends? Did you guys ever do that? Having to realize like, hey, I'm better than these people, or not even in that way. I just like I deserve more than these people. I deserve better than the people that I'm surrounding myself with. Have you gone through that?
Not yet.
Grace, watch out. Just kidding.
Bye.
Watch your back, Grace.
No. I would just like, I never see anybody as like, that person's better than my friends that I have now. You know what I mean?
Not so much in that way, which is good. That's good that you don't think that. But I mean more like your friends were treating you like shit and you got new friends.
And then I tried that once in high school. I was like, my friends are assholes. Like, I'm going to get new friends.
Yeah.
And then my new friend fucked my ex-boyfriend. So I went back to, I went back to the old friends.
Yeah, okay.
Because that one wasn't, I thought I was upgrading, I wasn't.
No, that was not an upgrade. Yeah. That was a bad one.
Yeah, that's brutal. No, I've never done that yet.
No, not yet.
I don't have any friends, though.
Sometimes you gotta like shed the skin.
Yeah.
You gotta shed the skin of friends. I've only had a couple friends. I've had to do that too. But it makes your life a lot better. Like, I'm not saying like get rid of your friends, but if you have a friend in your life who like doesn't treat you right, I feel like there has to be a point where you get sick of it. Yeah.
Maybe an upgrade, just
not an upgrade, just a cut loose. I feel like I talk about that all the time. I always work that into the conversation. Yeah. I don't know why that always comes up. Clearly, it's an important thing.
Yeah, clearly.
It's like when I felt the most adult, probably.
But you've had friends really fuck you over.
Yeah. I feel like it's when I feel adult, I guess. What about the upgrade between? We can go back to phones and tech a little bit. Flip phones to iPhones, or to like Blackberries, I guess.
What was your guys' first iPhone? First phone.
Oh, it was just a flip phone from T-Mobile.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Mine was
Then I got the Razor when it was cool.
Yeah.
I never had the Razor and I regretted it, but I had the this like little Nokia. It didn't flip or anything.
You had a Nokia?
Oh yeah. I got my phone was
mine was a Nokia flip phone.
My first
oh my god.
It wasn't even a flip phone. It was like this. It was like this big, and it had like a
9.
full keypad on it. I played Snake on it in class all the time. 5th grade. 9/11 happened, so I got a cell phone. That's why I got that.
Mine you could only
9/11.
call
one of the good things to come out of 9/11.
Literally,
Kelly got a cell phone.
I got a cell phone.
Remember those phones where it was just you can press 911 or your mom?
Yes,
like a ladybug or something.
Those didn't exist yet.
I
My
wanted
parents
that
would've made me get
so
that for
bad.
Sure.
Like I was like, I just want to have a phone. Just get me that.
Get me 911.
But I
phone.
remember I got my first phone was the
That's
Lotus
just like
from
Life Alert
Sprint.
for children.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
my dad
The Lotus, I forgot
made
all
the ringtone for me, and it was, they call me Stacy. That's not my name. That's not my name.
The ting
And you know how they
tings, I
gave it
think.
to me? Yes, the ting
Yeah.
tings. I was sleeping, and I guess they put the phone next to me
They
in the middle of the
called
day,
you?
and they called it.
That's
kinda
so
cool.
sweet. Did you cry?
pumped?
I would have cried
I know
my
I'm gonna
eyes
cry
out.
now though. I was fucking hyped though. I picked it up and my dad was like,
Oh, wow.
"Happy birthday!"
Oh my god.
That's cool. That's cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a really sweet
That's a
memory.
good one.
I love that so much.
Because me and my dad used to listen to that song all the time when we would drive into the city. No big deal when I was a
yeah, when you were a
child
actor.
actress
Yes, yes, there it is.
Yeah. I had to throw that one in there.
I also always got phone upgrades for my birthday. My favorite upgrade was when Verizon started doing the unlimited texting. Nobody else had unlimited texting. Everybody else, it was like 10 cents a text, 10 to receive, 10 to send. It was fucking crazy. Like when I tell people that, they like don't believe me.
Yeah.
But that was the situation, and Verizon had just come out with unlimited texting, and we had AT&T, and I was begging my parents to get Verizon. I was like, we have to switch. My dad was so stubborn. He like still is. He still has AT&T. Like he does not have Verizon, or actually no, he does.
I refuse
but
to
he
get
has
Verizon.
he has an Android.
I have
But
Verizon.
so I'm now thinking that AT&T like might be better low key, but at the time Verizon was it, and it was my birthday, and of course it was like opening gifts, whatever, and then it was like, oh, actually like one more, and then it comes out with like an envelope. And I was like, what is this? And I opened up the envelope, and it was like a picture of the phone, like receipt, like it'll be here in 2 days. We have to go pick it up or something like that. And I sobbed as if it was like lifeblood, like as if I was given eternal life. Like that's how I was crying. That's how excited I was. And it was the LG VX 3100 flip phone with the sliding camera on the front. It was a big fucking deal, and it was a flip phone, camera
Getting
phone,
your
like
phone
everything.
is such a big deal.
It was amazing. It was the best.
Especially when it's got a
again.
camera.
Especially when it has
Did
a
you
camera.
guys take a lot of pictures of your eyes?
Oh my
Always.
God.
I used to
always of
They're
my eyes.
still on my Instagram.
Many
I've not
pictures
deleted anything.
of my eyes.
I was obsessed with
Like,
my
I
eyes.
thought I was like,
And then,
my
like,
eyes are so
saturate
fucking
them
cool.
crazy.
Yes.
Yeah. And it was
iPad.
like, I feel like that's the only time we were able to like look at your eyes real close. You
Yes.
know what I mean?
I was like,
it was, like,
whoa.
you couldn't
so
really look in
cool.
the
You
mirror.
put the flash
that
on, you're
close.
like blinded.
Yeah, you take a million and then you just can't fucking
so
see
blinded.
after.
Yeah.
All my camera phone pictures were on my MySpace page. Obviously, I would take so many. I would do like the double popped collars and my polos and my like side bang hair.
Yeah,
like
and
it
you're
was
like,
just
Kissy face.
100% kissy face. I thought
disturbing.
it looked so fucking cute. I was like, how is not every boy in the world drooling over me because
Don't
I'm
you
the
want
cutest
that
bitch in the world?
confidence back?
Yes, I
Just
do.
thinking you were the fucking sexiest bitch alive.
I thought I was so
I
much
thought I was
harder
Britney
than
Spears
everyone.
for sure. Like there, I'm
I
actually
thought I was
thinking.
famous, yeah.
I'm thinking about some pictures in my head that I used to take, and
I used to do
I
this.
definitely thought I was Britney Spears. Yes.
This was my move.
Or I'd
The
be like,
shush move?
Or I'd be like, put my tongue like.
Yes.
I never
Show
did
a
the
little
tongue
tongue.
because I always felt silly with the tongue, but I was always
Yeah.
sideways eyes. Just
Yeah.
always
Yeah. I used to
never
do this
never
in a
spot
lot.
I
on.
still.
I never
do
look at the
sideways
camera.
eyes.
Yeah. I
You
know.
still, yeah,
I'm
you do.
still not looking
you
at the
do
camera.
Still, you do still
I
have
do
like
too. I
old
look
school
at the phone when I
selfies.
say, yeah.
I could never do that now. Still, even I mean, you guys know I'm the worst with taking photos of myself.
You get
but,
uncomfortable when the
because it
camera
just
comes
feels
out.
so.
Yeah.
Because I think it reminds me of that time. Like it
Yeah.
reminds me so much of that where I'm like, oh, I can't possibly look like a MySpace photo.
I have some good
because
ones,
everyone
like-
I know would make fun of me. So many like that. All my college.
I used to
pictures
just
of
do
me like
heel
that.
stretches and smile.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you were a cheerleader. You
Yeah.
had to,
Right, of
you had to get
course.
that out
I
there.
had to let everyone know
Had
that.
to
I
do
did
it.
all-star cheerleading. I would put my uniform on just to take pictures.
You did
of
All
it.
Star cheerleading? I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Of course, I'm not surprised by that.
I was like, I'm so sick.
The All Star girls. I was so
Thanks.
jealous of them.
Yeah.
I was
No,
so
I
jealous. They
remember
were
we
so
would come
good.
in. We'd be like, oh, you just do sideline cheer?
Yeah.
Well, I'm a real
Cute.
cheerleader.
I'm a competitive cheerleader.
Yeah.
It's a real
Oh,
sport.
how about the bitches who they would be like, oh, you can come on a team, but you can only cheer at the games. You can't compete.
I was that bitch.
Yeah, no, like I competed and I never said it to people, but it was always like awkward.
It was like you're just a sideline cheerleader.
Yeah, like you're on the team, but like you're not.
That was me when I was a junior.
And they would still come to the competitions, but they would just.
And they would wear.
Of course, you're talking about me. This is literally me.
Me and you were talking about her.
My junior year. But then, so that's what happened to me my junior year because I was never good at tumbling. I could never do tumbling.
Yeah, you gotta tumble
outside of the.
You gotta either stunt or tumble.
Yeah,
you don't fit into one of those.
I was not a bad stunter. Here's my issue. I was not a bad stunter. I was always a flyer because I was thin, but I'm so tall. I should have been a back spot, and I was never strong enough to hold the bitches up. Like I couldn't do it.
You were in an awkward position.
And I could never tumble because my I don't know why. I just could never. I could always do it on the trampolines. I was fine with that. But on the ground, my arms would always give out. I just wasn't strong enough. Like my bones were breaking every day. Like I don't know what I was eating at home. Like I just was not. I was malnourished.
Brittle.
Like I was just brittle and malnourished.
You were in
for some
Nature Valley
reason.
bar.
Yeah, just literally
just
the
breaking.
stiff Nature Valley bar. Like that's what I was. But I had a lot of spirit, and I tried really hard.
I'm sure
so
you
they always
did.
let me on the team.
Cheerleader
They always, I cheered like all through middle school and then until junior year in high school. And junior year is when that was the real, like all my friends had gotten really good, and they were just like so good at what they were doing. And there was me and like 4 other girls, and we were like not good, but all of our friends were on the team, so we were like always still trying to do it. And when we tried out, it was the first year they ever did. JV, it was like JV varsity and then JV game, and JV game was like me and 3 other bitches. And we would just dress up, and we were like, after a while that became like fun. Then we would start like sneaking alcohol, and then we quit entirely to drink in the stands, which was way better anyway.
And then you don't have to worry about the stress. I literally I couldn't take I
competed the first 2 years
of competing. Like
I liked it. I loved it, but it was so bad. Freshman, sophomore year, I was able to compete because I didn't. It was still like not the whole team had to. You know how like different levels when you get up, not the whole team had to tumble, and I wasn't the only one that couldn't. But by this time, the only ones that couldn't were the ones that were JV game. So we just couldn't compete at all. But I remember before our first competition when I was a freshman, it was in Myrtle Beach, and my parents like came down. We all took a bus down. It was like a crazy thing. And right before we went on, I remember not being able to hear the music at all because everything was it was like my brain just went blank, and like I knew what to do but I couldn't hear the music, so I was just like following everybody else around me because I was like, I can't hear shit. And then all of a sudden you can hear it like halfway through when you stop being nervous. But that was it's a bad feeling. It is
nerve-wracking, and it was like I loved practicing. I loved practice. Like there was nothing better than the feeling I didn't want to go, but after practice when you're like they're fucking screaming at you and you're doing all, like, they would make you go to tumbling classes and then stunting and all this. But I was a flyer, so I knew that it was like on me basically to just not fall. It's so much pressure
you have to
be up in the air, and you're like, if I fall, I fuck everyone over here. And at camp one year, I fell really bad on my elbow, and my elbow's still fucked to this day, but my coach was like, nah, like, you gotta just play through this. Like, you can't go, like, you cannot, if you get this checked out and there's something wrong with your elbow, we can't have you. So we would recommend that you do not get this checked out,
just
and you just like play through the pain and say, no, they were fucking nuts. Cheerleading coaches are nuts. So I just played through my I was stunting. My elbow's fucked still to this day is fucked up.
Everyone had to fight through injuries. My cheerleading team, we were the only team at school that like won shit. We won states every year, and at every pep rally we would like perform our competition thing, and it would be like the scariest thing. We're like, the whole school's watching. We have to do it. Hardwood floor, and then it was like our first full out, and they were like, throw all your tumbling and they're like, practice like we're competing. And if anyone fucked up, we'd go to the back room. She'd scream at us. I remember our coach would call us, and
usually there's a boy. Yes.
Oh my god.
Why did they call everyone fat asses?
They would make us run snake
my coaches too.
Always. Like get your you can't get your fat fucking legs over. Blah blah blah.
Like we worked harder than the fucking football players. I was like, this is crazy.
They would make us run with the football players.
Did you guys have like the summer? Not the summer camps. Yes, we like went to a cheer camp, but also the summer camps at your school where they would make you. It was like conditioning only, basically. One time we had that, and it was always in August, and they were making us run like 3 miles on the track outside. It was like 103 degrees or some shit. I fainted. I had to go in an ambulance to the hospital.
I'm not shocked.
Yeah,
but it was literally conditioning. No, they would make you come
before
school started. It was like the 3 weeks in August that you would have to go at night too. It'd be like 6 to 9
hours a day.
And I'm like, why the fuck am I? It's 6 to 9. It's summer.
Insane.
You're fucking up my whole day.
Morning would be like running. It'd be like running in the morning, and then a break, and then it would be like stunting in the afternoon, and then at night it would be like tumbling and dance.
So much sit ups, so much shit, and then like we would tumble. Oh my God, it was so fucked up. Like if someone couldn't land their pass, they would make everyone sprint around you until you could land your pass. People are just breaking bones left and right.
I feel like, why is it that we all have the same stories? Like, why is
cheerleading
all across the board is like low-key abusive? Like,
it's intense.
It's so nuts.
It's very. I actually really just liked being in shape. Like
I was saying, I've never been in better shape in my life.
Yeah, like you feel good about yourself and
Yeah.
just like having, because I can't work out unless I have somebody yelling at me to do it.
Yeah.
And so
That's why
that felt
miss
good.
sports.
But also just like everything about it was. Besides that, was not fun.
No,
in my
it's
opinion.
terrible. It's terrible. Did you ever have to do like before competitions where you do your hair the night before or whatever?
Yes, they put the curls
parties,
in your
the
hair.
curl parties.
The pasta parties.
Pasta
Well, pasta parties
parties were
is where
fun. Pasta parties
shit popped
were.
off
Yeah.
and where most of the drama happened.
Of course.
Like, you guys know, I told the story on here.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You did.
You did.
It's just a lot of drama. It's
It
a lot
is.
of drama.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we've all upgraded past that.
Yes.
Before we get into voicemails, I want to tell you about an upgrade that you guys need to make for yourselves, and that is to get on board with Nectar sunglasses. Have we gotten on board with Nectar sunglasses?
We have
yet?
upgraded to Nectar.
We have always
They're
been
like 5
upgrading to
pairs.
Nectar.
Yeah.
All of us have upgraded to them. They've been a good sponsor to us all summer long, all winter long. We love it. We're so happy to have them here. And right now, if you go to nectarsunglasses.com, you can get 40% off for the holiday season.
Fuck yes.
Use code
Yes.
BARSTOOL to get free shipping. That's amazing. I wear sunglasses year round. I say this all the time. Like, sunglasses are not only just for the summertime; they are for the wintertime too.
Sun's always
It's
out,
still
baby.
fucking bright.
driving in the car, I'm
Driving
fucking
in the
blinded.
car. Try to get in. I cannot even begin to fathom somebody driving in a car without sunglasses during the wintertime, especially when it snows.
Yeah.
The reflection
It's
off
so
the
bright.
snow,
Yeah.
I might as well crash my car directly
Yep.
into a tree. You need sunglasses. You need Nectar sunglasses. So go to nectarsunglasses.com for 40% off and use code BARSTOOL to get free shipping. All right, ladies, let us get into the voicemails as usual. Thank you to everybody who called in. We had a lot of voicemails saying almost the same thing, a lot of them talking about boyfriend upgrades. So I picked a couple that encompass pretty much all of the voicemails. So we have 2 today. First one, boyfriend upgrade, please, Noah.
Hi, girls. I'm calling for the upgrade episode. I don't know if this is necessarily what you guys are going to talk about, but I figured it's kind of relevant. So when I was in college, I had a boyfriend for pretty much the whole time, but it was kind of like shitty off and on, like, you know, one of those. And my junior year, right before COVID, we weren't really speaking as much. We weren't together. We were like, you know. So I decided to, instead of hanging out with him the last night before we had to go home for COVID break, I decided to fuck his roommate. So I don't know necessarily if this is what the episode is about, but to me it was definitely an upgrade. So, all right, girls, love you so much. Hope to hear it on the pod. Bye.
It sounds a little bit like revenge.
Yeah, it sounds more like revenge than an upgrade, but I appreciate it because sometimes revenge and upgrades go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Sometimes people choose an upgrade for revenge, and that is that seems to be the tale
to be
here.
like, oh, I upgraded, but
Yeah.
really it was just revenge in disguise.
Exactly. I also think that that like high school and college are the only times that it's appropriate to still do shit like this without really labeling yourself as like a dickhead. Like I feel like if you do that and you think you're talking and whatever, and you're not quite sure, and you like fuck a roommate without like having a conversation about it, it's gonna be like, it's a little sticky situation.
Right,
like
right,
how do you
a
get
little
out of
messy,
that
yeah.
eventually? But you know, a lot of us have been there. Maybe me.
Maybe myself. And that's
Yeah,
why I picked
maybe
it.
I've done this. Maybe this
This
is
is
a
me
move.
calling it.
Yeah, it's actually my number. So yeah.
You couldn't find the voicemails, and then we left the room for a second.
just
So
recorded.
Yeah, that's actually me.
It could be you.
That was Kelly.
I called from Noah's phone. I was like,
Yeah.
no, give me your phone.
Changed her voice. a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
bit.
exactly. Hey guys, it's me. Love the pod, especially Kelly.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into the second one. Ugly guys.
Hello, ladies. I'm calling about upgrades. First of all, I love you all. Anyway, I was just going to say, how come every time when we break up with somebody, we always are like, why were they so fucking ugly? Like, why did I hate that person, blah, 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 blah. But we didn't think they were ugly when we were dating them. So I don't know. Like, is that what everybody else thinks? Like, every time you break up with somebody afterwards, or you're like, I just upgraded so hardcore. Like, that guy was so ugly. Like, but like, did we really, like, are we just saying that because we hate them? Or were they really ugly? So let me know your thoughts. Okay. Good job, ladies. Bye.
This is a good question, and one that
So true.
where I feel like I'm always talking about this question. This is always a thing when you start like thinking back to your ex-boyfriends and you're like, what the fuck? Like literally what the fuck? And one of my favorite pastimes is seeing present day photos of ex-boyfriends and being like, ew, what the fuck? Was I blind? What's my problem?
It's because
I love it.
When you are like in love with that person, you have like rose-colored glasses on. It's just like everything is great. But then you spend enough time with them to like things about them piss you off and you don't like them genuinely. So then you just start shitting on their looks too. You're like, what the fuck was I doing? Because sometimes when you like somebody's personality, what they look like doesn't matter. Yeah, they become cute. You're like, oh. But then once you start hating their personality, it's like, wait a second.
It makes
throw the whole man away. They're all ugly.
They're ugly. Once you realize they're ugly on the inside, they become ugly on the outside. I wonder if
our exes say that about us. Like, oh, she was so fucking ugly. What was I thinking?
What do you think your exes say about you? I bet my exes, first of all, I know that they all say I'm crazy. I know that they all say I'm insane. I also bet they all make fun of like how I look physically. Like I bet they're all like, oh, no ass, like no titties. Like I feel like those are the things my exes say about me. No like she wears a push-up bra. It's like, yeah, Doug, it's 2021. Like who doesn't?
Yeah. Anger issues.
Probably just like
anger issues.
She emotionally abused me probably from my last.
Probably that too. Damn. Sometimes them's the breaks. You know what I mean? Like sometimes buckle up. You know. Yeah. I feel like I'm always warning people when I get into a relationship. I'm like, hey, might be a wild ride. Yeah. Like if you're not prepared, you might get off now.
For fucking everybody though. Everybody has their own issues and things wrong with them. Nobody's perfect.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You're completely perfect. Okay, completely. But thank you to everyone for calling in. That was fantastic. All of your voicemails are always great. If you want to call in for next time, it is 551-258-3436.
We're having a good